In this tutorial, we're looking at another journal and we're going to change the frequency and update some of the information about it. It is this one here, Periodica Duricanonica. Go. Edit subscription. I've got these things right. Create an item record, keep the issue number. I'm just going to change the capitalization. I'm not putting that in public note because it's already in the bib record, so we don't need to add that again. We don't notify our borrowers. Its location will be on the ground level with the display journals, and we do not show here how many issues on each one. We're going to do that in a different setting on Koha. On this page here, it's page number 2. This is where you get to save. When you save this modification, the data gets told, if I can put it like that, to this subscription record, and it recalibrates everything. So you need to get the information in the screen right, because when it recalibrates, it then tells the system what to expect. It tells it the publication date, the expected arrival date, and what number and issue, what volume number, what issue number, all the rest of it that is going to come next. If you've got something wrong here, that will show up wrong there, and you have to go back and delete everything one by one to make sure it's out of the system, and then you come back here and modify again. So try to get it right. So the next issue publication date says is in 2020, but in fact the volume I have in front of me is 2019. It's at the end of 2019 because it's number 4, and so I'm going to make that due in November 2019. Actually, October is usually the 4th one, or December. Let's say December, because it's coming from overseas. 2019, and this little date thing, I might say, jumps around a bit. So unless you get everything right and then you click on the actual day that you want, it doesn't actually save it. If I click out here now, you'll see it just goes back to where it was before. So it is important that you make sure you choose an actual day. So I'm going to say 1st of December 2019. The 1st. And now you'll see that it's got that. So it's the 1st of December. The frequency is 1 every 3 months, so that's for a year. For the issues, the subscription length and the subscription end date are interchangeable. Only choose one of these, either how long you're going to be subscribing to this for, or the date that you will finish subscribing. Now, if you are using Koha to manage all of your renewals and you want to renew them through here, then you probably do an annual one, and it may run June to June, or it may run January to December, like most of them do. However, we don't use Koha to remind us of our renewals. We don't manage all that through here. So I'm only going to put in the length, and because we get for a year, I'm going to make that 30, which will cover us off for a few years, and then the end date disappears and it will figure itself out. Now the start date and the next issue date have a relation to each other. So those things need to be making sense for everything to make sense in the system. So I'm expecting the next issue at the beginning of December. Now I'm well past December, but I'm going back and fixing this one up because it's only just arrived. The the start date for the subscription, however, was at the beginning of the year. Now it doesn't matter which year it began at, because it can be continuing and it's expecting 30 issues. So if I only put 4 in there, it would think the subscription was over. But because I've got 30 issues coming, it's covering me off for another 6 years or so. So it doesn't matter that it started a year before, but I could change that to the 1st of January 2019. It's not really a big deal whether it's 18 or 19 because of the number of issues. You might need to replay that, but that's not the best description I could have given you. So volume and number is a good enough pattern for us because those are the words I want to show up. That's because the journal spells out the whole word volume and then shows the number for it, the volume number, and then it has an Italian word after it and the number 4 for the issue. But we're going to show that as volume and number, or we could show it as volume and issue if I had that in here, which doesn't show. So, oops, volume, number and issue, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to do volume and number. So the volume we're working on is actually volume 108. Now I don't know how 9 got in here, but we've had a lot of these kinds of odd bits of data come across. So this is the last value. The last value was issue number 3. I now have issue number 4 with me. Bear with me if this doesn't work out and I have to fiddle with it. Sometimes that's how it goes. But that's the rule that I'm going with. So the inner counter is the number of issues you're up to. So if you're counting from the beginning of each subscription period. So the subscription period is 1 year long, continuing from the start of 2018. The number I'm up to, because it starts at 1 at the beginning of the year and goes to 4 at the end of the year, the number I'm up to is 3. So the inner counter is I've already seen 3 and now I'm expecting 4. Just watch while this all goes to custard when I test it. Number 3, yes, so now it's saying that volume 108, number 3 is expected in December and number 4 will come in March, which is not the publication date. It may well indeed be when we get it, but it is not the publication date. So I'm going to go back and I can either change the next issue publication date to September the 1st, 2019 and stick with 3. You'll see here now I'm expecting number 4 on the 12th, and that's what I'm going to do because what you can't see is that there's a tick box there. So let's just see how this works out. I am going to save this because if I have to make a change, it will only be one change. And that is now reset. I will show you how that plays out in real life on the next video.